Volatility has been at the bottom for 4 months. Has Bitcoin reached its limit? A series of record highs have broken out, but retail investors aren't thrilled. Is this the prelude to a coming storm? Miners mine 450 a day. Companies rush to mine 1755 a day. Is Bitcoin about to have a shortage crisis? Has the strategy snowballed to its limit? With Bitcoin's value halved, will Treasury companies collectively collapse? Trump's second son called for an order. Justin's son invested heavily. Is WLFI really going to dominate the charts? Bitcoin stockpiling slashes share price by half. How can Metaplanet save itself?
On Monday, September 1st, I am Michael on the Chinese channel of BitcoinTV. I will first take a look at the 24-hour data headlines of the cryptocurrency circle sponsored by BYBIT. BYBIT trading has never been so easy. Scan the QR code to register BYBIT and enjoy instant discount on transaction fees, 20% get commission rebates, and enjoy a 20% discount on transaction fees. Bitcoin's momentum this year has been truly impressive, reaching $109,225 in January, surpassing $123,000 in July, and reaching a new high of over $124,000 in August. Logically, retail investors should be going crazy at this point. Weren't retail investors rushing in and hyping up the market like a concert at the peaks of the two major bull markets in 2017 and 2021? However, this time, things are strange. Most retail frequency indicators are still in the neutral and cooling zones, not even in the heating-overheating zones. In other words, this current market trend isn't driven by retail investors at all. It's all institutional and long-term investors supporting the market. Without retail investors' hype, the market top is likely not here yet. This is more like an institutional buying period, with steady trends and delayed risks. Remember, the true peak of a bubble only occurs when retail investors go wild and trading volume explodes. Its breadth for the past few months, with volatility remaining flat since April, it only finally climbed from 3% to 9% on August 14th, a breath of fresh air. However, this expansion has been accompanied by a correction, so for now, the downward trend remains dominant. Remember, low volatility, like the quiet before the storm, is not a signal in itself. We need to wait for it to continue its upward surge, ideally reaching 15 to 20%, and then breaking through 25 to 30% before the real drama begins. The current situation is that the expansion has just begun, with a more downward trend. However, if the price rebounds and breaks through the previous high, it could potentially turn into an upward expansion, signaling the start of a new major rally. By the end of August, the Bitcoin price was still hovering around $107,600. The on-chain sentiment indicator, NUPL, had fallen to 0.513 and had been declining for the past 2 months, even crossing the price curve. This suggests that many investors have seen their paper profits shrink and some of their holdings have been sold out. In the short term, selling pressure is indeed excessive, so the price is likely to continue its sideways trend. However, from another perspective, this is actually a healthy turnover process, as if large investors are selling off their holdings first, lowering the overall market cost. NUPL's decline from overheating to equilibrium may appear somewhat depressing, but it actually postpones the risk. Even more interestingly, even as Bitcoin reached a new high of $124,500, NUPL remained calm, not being driven by retail investor sentiment as in 2017 and 2021. This demonstrates that this market rally is not driven by speculative frenzy, but rather by the steady progress of institutional and long-term investors. As long as the key position of $100,000 is maintained, the energy for the next wave of charge may be secretly accumulating. Please like and follow us for the latest developments in the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and mining circles within the past 24 hours. Click the bell to join our channel and become a member. You'll receive your membership code Monday through Friday. The US is serious this time. Trump launched a major initiative upon taking office. He aims to turn the US into the global crypto capital and stockpile a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Legislative efforts are also underway, with the 21st Century Financial Innovation and Technology Act governing classification, the Genius Act, and the Stablecoin Act governing stablecoins. The rules are being drawn out one after another. As a result, the world is eager to watch the excitement, and governments around the world have suddenly reversed course. Businesses are even more aggressive, with frantic buying sprees. It feels like the world is lining up to enter the cryptocurrency market.
I think that, it used to be we're focused on the halvings, but at this point, the entire natural supply of Bitcoin is only 450 Bitcoin available for sale every day. That's sort of about $45–50 million a day at this level. That is all being consumed by the Bitcoin Treasury companies, and the Bitcoin ETFs are coming on strong. So I'm very bullish.
A recent report from Bitcoin financial services company River reveals that this year's market buying flood far outstrips new supply. Publicly listed companies, traditional businesses, and private enterprises purchased an average of 1,755 Bitcoins daily, while miners produced only 450. Even more striking, ETFs and various investment vehicles absorbed an additional 1,430 Bitcoins daily, while government agencies also steadily purchased approximately 39. This combined demand has resulted in actual daily Bitcoin consumption far exceeding new supply.
Why are companies desperately trying to buy Bitcoin? To put it bluntly, it is because of its unique value of scarcity and decentralization. In addition, the market is more mature and the supervision is more stable, so they are more confident in buying. River sounded the alarm. If foreign exchange reserves continue to shrink and institutions continue to hold on to their holdings, the market could face a real shortage crisis. Miners dig daily, yet still can't keep up with the small amounts of demand from businesses. The situation is like a supermarket stocking 10 new boxes of apples, only to have customers rush in and grab 100. Supply and demand are completely out of balance, and the future of the market will depend on who can withstand the pressure. The original player in Bitcoin company strategy now faces a major test. Its tactics back then were considered a masterstroke by Wall Street, issuing bonds, selling stock using the proceeds to buy Bitcoin, and then capitalizing on the hype to drive up the stock price. Snowballing. Since 2020, it has spearheaded this trend, and now over 100 companies worldwide have followed suit, collectively hoarding approximately $108 billion worth of Bitcoin. It's arguably the king of sales, but whether it can continue this trend depends on its resilience.
I think Michael Saylor always says, sell a kidney, buy Bitcoin, right? And I think he's, I know obviously he jokes when he says that, but he's right. Buy it, hold it, and I think you're going to do extremely well.
He's not joking, for sure. Actually, he sold one of his kidneys, I'm pretty sure. So.
Strategy isn't the only company facing difficulties. Nearly all treasury firms betting on Bitcoin are facing an awkward situation. Data shows that the market capitalization of approximately one-third of companies is now less than the value of their Bitcoin holdings. Small companies, in particular, are facing cash constraints, difficulties in equity financing, and the dual pressures of debt interest and principal maturities. Analyst Charles Edwards bluntly stated that if the Bitcoin price drops another 50%, enthusiasm for the Treasury model will plummet, with MNAV, meaningless value, significantly compressed, and hundreds of companies will reconsider or even abandon their Bitcoin Treasury strategies.
Treasury companies have hit a real snag spot: Bitcoin ETFs. While initially reaping the benefits of a bull market, ETFs offer a load-free approach to holding coins. They avoid the worry of chaotic corporate governance, margin calls, and equity dilution. Consequently, Treasury companies' selling points have been tarnished. Worse still, capital continues to flow frantically into Ethereum and Solana, with ETH treasuries generating $19 billion in value alone. While Bitcoin is supported by institutions, a host of new treasury companies are buying at high prices exceeding $100,000 with limited cash flow. If the market reverses, they'll be left standing.
From the ICE seller public sale to the 33 billion surge, will the WLFI unlocking day become a big test day? After raising 93 billion yuan, its stock price was cut in half. How long can Japan MicroStrategy last?
WLFI's recent developments are a true story of dramatic reversals. Its valuation in the first round was just $1.5 billion, with tokens priced at just $0.015 each. This year, its valuation skyrocketed to $5 billion in the second round, a 233% surge that stunned many. The problem was that the tokens were initially labeled non-transferable and sold only to investors outside the United States, leaving the public sale cold. As soon as Justin Sun opened his wallet, the market erupted. Wow, this project is truly extraordinary. Recently, WLFI held another governance vote, directly changing the token to transferable, instantly increasing liquidity. The most lively event was the Hong Kong Bitcoin conference, where Eric Trump, the second son of President Trump, personally called out the investors, promoting the family's token venture like a presidential election.
The Bitcoin community embraced him. The Bitcoin community embraced my father, unlike anything I had ever seen before.
Due to the unprecedented support from the Bitcoin community, Eric Trump has publicly stated that he will give back to the market through the WLFI project. Recent data shows that among the top 50 WLFI addresses, at least 14 users hold tokens through U.S. restricted trading platforms, totaling over $6.7 billion, with a market capitalization of approximately $335 million. The most notable of these large holders is undoubtedly Justin Sunday. Based on pre-market estimates, WLFI's opening valuation is approximately $33 billion, surpassing the current tron. If stablecoins are excluded, WLFI will become the sixth largest cryptocurrency in the world by market capitalization, directly entering the core position of the mainstream track.
The WLFI drama is becoming increasingly bizarre. One moment it was just a non-tradable governance token, and now unlocked through a lockbox, it's now circulating. With presidential and ambassadorial endorsements and on-chain positions revealed, it's forcibly transforming itself from a stablecoin financing tool into a bridge for international investment. The September 1st unlocking event will be the true market test. Can it live up to its triple threat of politics plus finance plus cryptocurrencies? The problem is, WLFI investors share the same philosophy as Trump's supporters: making money is paramount, not faith. Metaplanet, a company often called the MicroStrategy of Japan, originally operated a hotel. In 2024, it suddenly pivoted to Bitcoin speculation, and its stock price soared 360% in just 2 months, a truly euphoric experience. This strategy was simple. Whenever the stock price rose, it issued warrants to Evo Fund, which then used the proceeds to buy Bitcoin, repeating the same cycle. By 2025, it had purchased $135.2 million worth of Bitcoin using this strategy. Unfortunately, the excitement turned to tragedy. After peaking in June, the stock price plummeted 54%, while Bitcoin actually rose 2%. While the coin itself was intact, the company collapsed first, the bubble burst, and the cycle of hoarding coins was broken. Now they are scrambling to find new ways to generate capital.
And in just 60 days, we raised 93 billion yen, nearly $600 million US, at effectively a 0% discount to the market price. It was our most recent financing, and it directly drove a 189% BTC yield over just 60 trading days.
Faced with a tight funding situation, Metaplanet has made a rare move. On August 30th, it announced an overseas stock offering, raising 130.3 billion yen. More crucially, on September 1st, Its shareholders' meeting will vote on whether to issue up to 555 million shares of preferred stock. If successful, this could raise up to 555 billion yen, or approximately $3.7 billion. Preferred stock is extremely rare in Japan due to its high cost and few companies adopt it. CEO Simon Gravich emphasized that this serves as a talisman for the company, ensuring guaranteed access to funds even if the stock price falls, while avoiding dilution of common shareholders. The preferred stock offers an annualized dividend of approximately 6%, capped at 25% of the company's Bitcoin holdings.
Metaplanet's flywheel may look like a Wall Street killer, but it's actually a game of passing the buck. New retail investors' money fills old holes. Once the stock price plummets, retail investors, fearing they'll be the ones to take the brunt of the losses, flee immediately. The original plan to hoard 100,000 bitcoins by 2026 seems ridiculous now. The old tactics are no longer viable. Even Evo Fund's warrants have been suspended. All eyes are now on the September 1st shareholder meeting. If the preferred shares are approved, the money will be in hand, but the interest payments will be crushing, a true drinking poison to quench thirst scenario. If not, then there will be no money or coins, and the company may even shut down before its mining machines.
Musk is at loggerheads again. Former engineer Li Shuechen, accused of stealing core code and $7 million in stock, then left OpenAI. XAI is suing, demanding compensation and being barred from joining the company. The AI sphere is officially in the midst of a palace intrigue, rivaling the dramas of Silicon Valley. Pai-Dun warns that in August alone, the cryptocurrency market experienced 16 major security incidents, resulting in a direct loss of $163 million, a 15% increase compared to July. Hackers are more active than in a bull market, so users should keep an eye on their wallets. Gold prices surged like a shot of chicken blood. On September 1st, spot gold prices reached $3,480 per ounce, a new high since April 22nd, with a daily gain of 0.93%. It seems that once the market became nervous, it steadily climbed to a new level. Metaplanet, the Japanese version of MicroStrategy, he just splashed out money, buying 1,009 new bitcoins, bringing his total holdings to 20,000. He's been buying bitcoins more frequently than he's been eating sushi, gradually piling them into the ballast of his company's coffers. Eric Trump fired off a double-edged sword this time. When asked if he wanted to run for president, he replied, "Neither no nor yes." In typical Trumpian fashion, the suspense was already building before the show even began.
Okay, that's the main content of today's program. Our channel focuses on valuable news in the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and mining circles, including news information and in-depth special reports. If you think our channel is valuable, you are welcome to forward and follow us. You can also become our member and receive the member wealth code from Monday to Friday. Let's get rich together and add a zero to our assets in the bull market. See you tomorrow.